is everyone who's anti-war, everyone who wants to stop this global conflict from spiraling out of control to come together. So, yes, the left should unify, but so should the centre. So should anyone on the right who believes these wars are wrong.
Right.
Anyone who believes in the neutrality and sovereignty of their countries, which is undermined by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund and Western globalization and hegemonic control. So it's not just the left. If you believe we're all in danger, every person in every country across the globe is in danger of what could possibly happen in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months, then it's imperative that as many people as possible come together. So let's not make it about left unity. Let's make it about peace. Let's make it about everyone who wants to prevent the war, who wants to prevent the genocide in Gaza, who wants to prevent an outbreak of violence between India and Pakistan, who wants the war in Ukraine to end, who wants the war in the Middle East, because it's not just Palestine, it's Yemen, it's Syria, it's Lebanon, it's Iraq. You know, if we extrapolate this slightly further, then let's talk about equality. Let's talk about justice. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about human dignity for everyone. So let's start off with peace. Then let's broaden that out to a wider structure where you'll have peace when you have justice.
Yep.
And you won't have justice where there is inequality, discrimination, racism, fascism, capitalism. So while all these things exist, I think the broader canvas is to actually bring as many people, I don't mean to the center, I mean collectively together to try and fight, the warmongers. If you start with the warmongers, we can start to move out on the justice and sovereignty issues, and an end to the military industrial complex, and an end to the billionaire financiers like George Soros, who are involved in regime change all over Europe. We had the coup in Kiev in 2014. We had a fascist cabal installed. Now, that was Victoria Nuland
Right.
as the American ambassador to Kiev. That was Joe Biden as the vice president to Obama. And it's interesting that when Joe Biden came back into power as the American elected president in 2020, you had the reigniting of the war in Donbass with 100,000 Ukrainian armed forces massing on the border of eastern Ukraine in December, January 2022, with a possible massacre as they were massing to reoccupy, militarily subdue the people in eastern Ukraine who said, we don't support this coup. We do not agree with an unelected fascist cabal leading the country. Those people were occupied by the fascists. So in eastern Ukraine, you had Russian-speaking, Russian Orthodox Ukrainians. I've been to Donbass. The people told me they didn't leave Ukraine. Ukraine left them. They wanted semi-autonomy. They wanted federalization within the Ukrainian state. They just said, we refuse to live under a fascist regime, which is the descendants and adherents of the fascist banderites. 27 million Soviet Union people died to defeat fascism, not just the Germans. You had it in Finland, you had it in Ukraine, you had it in Sweden, you had it in Poland, you had it in Hungary. They defeated Western European fascism, and they refused to live under that yoke from 2014 on. And I just want to add one thing, Rumi. When you mentioned Latin America and you mentioned Ukraine and you mentioned the Middle East, the glue that ties all these together is the United States of America administration. It's the Americans who are sanctioning Cuba. It's the Americans who are sanctioning Venezuela. It's the Americans who are promoting regime change in Venezuela and Nicaragua and Chile and other countries. It is American bombs in the Ukraine that are killing Eastern Ukrainians and Russians. It is American bombs and airplanes and ships that are bombing Gaza. It is American planes and ships that are bombing Yemen. It is America who is partially occupying Syria. It was the Caesar sanctions that brought the Syrian Arab Republic to its knees and to its collapse, aided by the Israelis, aided by the Turks, aided by Qatar, aided by ISIS, created by the CIA. So if we take one step back and we just look at what is happening in the world, it all goes back to Washington. It's all about resources. Trump says he wants to bring peace to Ukraine, and he has a price for that peace. And that peace is the mineral deal. That peace is to put the people of Ukraine in hock to the American administration, to the American corporations for the next 30, 40, 50, 100 years.